I would like to learn about how cars work and how they're making hybrid alternative fuel cars and seeing if we can use oxygen, the air around us, to make it a better fuel. And two, I'd like to learn about how we can rejuvenate everyone's whole DNA structure and the DNA structures part. I mean, it sounds a little sci-fi-ish or something like that, but I'm really looking forward to the future. I mean, everyone's got a good future to go for. So that's just what I see.
Strong schools sometimes are a cliche. Everyone talks about it. We always hear how important it is, but not a lot of people talk about why it's important and why it's valuable to a community.
Yeah, if you go over to the Strongsville Mall, I see those all the time when I go there.
I think that schools are a lifeblood of a community. Vital communities are vital largely because they have strong public school districts.
I've lived in Strongsville my whole life. I was actually born here. It's a community that has always been a very focused community. No matter how much we've grown as a community in population, it's continued to have that small town feel.
It's just amazing how Strongsville has grown over the years. Like I said, when I first moved here, there was Pizza Hut and Burger King. Don's Pomeroy was still behind the trees that we thought was the spooky house.
What I like about Strongsville is that I think there's a lot of community pride, and I think there's a lot of community involvement. I mean, witnessed by the fact we've got so many civic groups that are really active.
Strongsville has always been a very, very strong educational city and a very strong base. Strongsville students are great. I go to all the football games and they're just enthusiasm. They back the city, they back the football teams, they back the basketball teams, doesn't matter what they are. The Strongsville students not only want to learn, they're good, they're really strong for education, but more than that, they're an enthusiastic crowd of people and a bunch of really great kids in Strongsville.
School's important because every kid in the United States and in the world needs education in their life.
If we didn't go through school, we wouldn't have the proper education. Maybe we wouldn't know so much about the world and what we can do for it.
I think it's in all of our best interests to support the learning and growth of our students. There probably isn't a more important issue on the table for our community or for American society.
It's such an integral part of the community that people forget. It impacts home values, it impacts how people view our community, and to bring everyone together to see how we work together. And that's the schools meeting with the community working with the schools, and the students and parents just becoming part of a team, I think is essential.
Uriah.
Granny Smith.
Granny Smith. Can you see these little letters?
No.
I can't either. So this is Granny Smith.
The learning and growth of our students has never been more important. And I think that as we move through this decade, we're seeing more clearly than ever before that there simply are not going to be enough public dollars.
In this very challenging educational time and financial time for us, funding has been diminished from both federal and state sources, and we certainly face a number of challenges trying to meet the needs of our children.
The shortfalls in public funding for the importance and the growth that needs to happen in education, that gap is simply going to have to be covered by private dollars, by private philanthropy.
I think one of the things that we can do as a community to invest in our students is continue simply to uphold the importance of education.
The Education Foundation funded the Ames Web diagnostic tool a couple years ago. It's $30-some thousand.
It's a program that we've been utilizing now. I believe this is our 3rd year with it, and it gives us the opportunity to identify and diagnose problems with students in reading and math.
Everything should revolve around the ability, why are we here? Why is education here?
With the help of our parents and our community and Strongsville Education Foundation and our teachers are amazing.
For the school system, put the student at the center of all the activity.
10 years from now, I imagine that I'm going to go to the college that I really want to go to, which is Cornell University.
My favorite thing to do is read a book. Just simply any book that I pick out of the library, at the school or public, and I make sure I really like it, and once I really like a book, I just want to keep reading it over and over.
I think it's really important for students to bring enthusiasm and passion and curiosity to their learning, just like they did before they ever started school. You know, once upon a time for those kids, it was a wondrous thing to have a crayon. Bugs were fascinating things. You could look at them all day long.
What would you like to be when you grow up?
I always thought about being a speechwriter, politician, or something, but then comes in the part that I want to be inventor/engineer.
Architect or an archaeologist.
I'd like to be an architect when I grow up because I want to build a monument that will last 1,000 years.
Take care of animals.
I would love to be a lawyer because I feel like lawyers, they are just good people because they can they always need to think of fast answers.
You spend so much time at work, whatever your work is, and just apply yourself and enjoy what you do every day.
If you if you plan it out and choose a job that you like and you do it, you'll never be working a day in your life. You will be working, but if you like it, you'll feel it as it's not even work.
Nothing can be more important, in my view, than education, and that means that I think the community needs to be involved in the educational prospect along with our public professionals.
I think corporations need to inject themselves into the educational system, and that could take many forms. Maybe it's an executive visiting a classroom, maybe it's a visiting teacher, maybe it's setting up some sort of business education program, because there are few better real-world sources of knowledge, I think, than businesses within a community. It brings home what students are learning. It brings it to life for them and makes them understand really what it's like to work in a particular business or industry day after day.
It's obvious that the important things are students and teachers and the education program.
The Strongsville Education Foundation has been there for us, and they do that. They rally the community.
We're here because of the students. We're here because we're a learning environment. We want to promote learning. We want to promote higher education. We want to promote the constant lifelong learning in everyone.
The Strongsville Education Foundation is making a huge difference, I believe, because they're working so hard to bring the community and the schools together.
And I think that's where organizations like the Education Foundation can step in with private dollars and say, we'll get this one. And while you guys are talking about it, we'll get results. And we've done that.
I think that we should have more classes, like extra classes. So extra curriculum, you could say, so we get ready for the future. Not just high school and college, but life. That's what we need to get ready for.
Good job.
Good job. Great job.
And cut.